I had a job interview at an insurance company once, and the lady said, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" I said, "Celebrating the 50th anniversary of you asking me this question." I walked by a spy shop, you know those places that sell surveillance equipment? Every time I walk by a spy shop, I think, I need to put some surveillance on somebody. Rick's been acting fishy at an insurance company once. I need to buy a little camera. I need to buy a safe that looks like a Coca-Cola can. Or better yet, a safe that looks like a spray and wash can. That would create better situations. Hey, Mitch, can I use a spray and wash? Yeah, if you want to spray your shirt with documents. I've never stayed at a bed and breakfast, and I don't think I would, because I figure you stay at a bed and breakfast, by the end of the day, you start to get hungry. Is that all you got around here? Then you need to direct me to a chair lunch dinner. I'm gonna open up a chain of chair lunch dinners, put them right across the street from the bed and breakfast. Say, come on over about 1. But you have to leave at 11, because you're not sleeping in the fucking chair. We're gonna have to sweeten some of these jokes. You know what sweeten means, right? That's a showbiz term for add sugar to. Anyway, I was in Ireland performing, and that's right, that's why I left, because fuckers go woohoo. And I got sick of that shit. I can't take woohoo anymore. And I'll be goddamn if they're not here too. But anyway, in Kilkenny, Ireland, they don't have anything American over there. It's very cool. But they did have a Subway sandwich shop. That was the one thing that had American. And that became the American embassy to me. I would go out to a bar, piss off an Irish dude, and have him chase me to the Subway. Say, dude, I'm sorry, but you're out of your jurisdiction. But you can have a cold cut combo, though. Now, this is my second part of my Subway 2-part joke. I was in downtown Boise, Idaho, and I saw a duck, and I knew the duck was lost, because ducks ain't supposed to be downtown. There's nothing for them there. So I went to a Subway sandwich shop. I said, let me have a bun. But she wouldn't sell me just the bun. She said I had to have something on it. She told me it's against regulations for Subway to sell just the bun. I guess the 2 halves ain't supposed to touch. So I said, all right, we'll put some lettuce on, which they did. They said, that'll be $1.75. I said, it's for a duck. They said, all right, well, then it's free. See, I did not know that. Ducks eat for free at Subway. Had I known that, I ordered a much larger sandwich. Let me have the steak fajita sub. But don't bother ringing it up. It's for a duck. There are 6 ducks out there, and they all want sun chips. I find that ducks' opinion of me is very much influenced over whether or not I have bread. A duck loves bread, but it does not have the capability to buy a loaf. That's the biggest joke on the duck ever. Like if I worked at a convenience store and a duck came in and grabbed a loaf of bread with his beak and walked out, I would let him go. I would say, come back tomorrow, bring your friends. When I think of ducks' friends, I think of more ducks, right? But shit, he could have like a beaver in tow. Because if you're an animal, you want to have a beaver as a friend. Because they got some kick-ass houses. That shit is on the lake. Lakeside my ass, lake on. Now if I was to give a duck bread, I'd give him Pepperidge Farm bread, because that shit's fancy. It's wrapped twice. So you open it, and it still ain't open. That's why I don't buy it. I don't need another step between me and toast. I got a fire alarm at home, but really it's more like a 9-volt battery slowly drainer. If you want to slowly get rid of your 9-volt batteries, then buy this circle. I have no problem not listening to the Temptations, which is weird. Listerine hurts, man. When I put Listerine in my mouth, I'm fucking angry. Germs do not go quietly. If you're watching a parade, make sure you stand in one spot. Don't follow it. It never changes. And if the parade is boring, run in the opposite direction. You will fast forward the parade. Xylophone is spelled an X. That's wrong. Xylophone X. I don't fucking see it. It should be a Z up front. Next time you have to spell xylophone, use a Z. And if someone says, hey, that's wrong, say, no, it ain't. If you think that's wrong, then you need to have your head Z-rayed. It's like X wasn't given enough to do, so they had to promise him more. Okay, you won't start a lot of words, but we will give you a co-starring role in Tic-Tac-Toe. And you will be acquainted with hugs and kisses. And you will mark the spot. And you will make writing Christmas easier. And incidentally, you will start xylophone. Are you happy, you fucking X? Hey, you know what keeps me from acting? Fucking auditions. But I got to be in a movie. I had a small scene in the movie. But I got to act with Peter Frampton. He was in the movie. And we had to smoke pot for our scene. But it was fake pot. Do not buy pot on a movie set. But I got to smoke fake pot with Peter Frampton. That's a cool story. It's as cool as smoking real pot with a guy who looks like Peter Frampton. I've done that way more. Now, Peter Frampton's a musical legend, but I don't know his music. So when you meet a legend and you don't know his body of work, you have to divert from that fact. Hey, Peter Frampton, do you like toast too? Yes, as do I. It's warm and crispy. And a perfect place for jelly to lay. Now stay away from me, Frampton. I ain't got shit to say to you. You know, I'm sick of following my dreams, man. I'm just gonna ask where they're going and hook up with them later. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Get some applause on that CD. Thanks a lot. Have a good night, all right? Thank you.
Oh, man. The great Mitch Hedberg, man.
I appreciate the laughs, man.
The great Mitch Hedberg. Oh, man. I love that guy.
In the summer, lighting up, she's smoking trees. Only daughter.
Let's get into it.
Of a man she hasn't seen, and there's no real one emotion. She can't say what she needs. First second she hates you, then she's horny. Baby, stay with me, please. She can't imagine staying a night here by herself. Lord of mercy,
Lord of mercy.
Cause all our guys, they go through hell. Taking your phone, she'll hope to moan and then put back on your shelf. But fuck it, she's crazy and I love it.
And I want her myself.
Saying was hard with your day, with your night. You opened the door and your man walked out. He said he got tired of the games you play. Never give it some thought, but I bet you stay.
I love how he says talk. I love his Irish accent. Gave us some talk. I'm on my way, way. Yeehaw!
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Wait.
Some big surprise. I think that I like this.
That's that Tiffany dance right there.
My tie, you got my eyes. I beg you for more. I hear my door closed.
Love this song, right?
This girl is a tease. I mean with ease. She makes me want her and die. She's standing alone and with her guy, she paid the price. Thinking you own them.
What a banger. What a banger. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Girl, when you best. Good morning, Kareem. Good morning, Cassie. Brian Joel in the house. Mitchell Wayne. We played a little Mitch Hedberg to start the show. Love that guy. Cassie, what's up, Cassie? D-Grade. What up, D-Grade? On the road again. Jen Matt's in the house. Good afternoon, Jen Matt. Good evening. D-Grade apologizing. That must mean he beat someone's high score again. D-Grade, that's what D-Grade do. Beating high scores. Rolling around in a truck. Loving his dog. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? How are you? How are you doing? I'm alright. I'm alright. Yeah, Streamlabs took the day off. This motherfucker. Streamlabs is like, yeah, he usually doesn't roll out of bed until like 10:30, so Streamlabs hit the snooze button. Fuck you, Streamlabs. What the hell? What are we paying you for? What are we paying you for, Streamlabs? Rolling into work late. Good morning. How you guys doing? Day 2 of my 2 days off in a row. Loving it. Loving having a couple days off in a row. I never know what the protocol is for a day off. You know, let me know. Let me know in the chat what the protocol is for a day off when you have 2 days off, because that's pretty much standard. We work 5 days a week. We get 2 days off. Some people get Saturday and Sunday. People like me, you know, like restaurant working types. Monday and Tuesday is pretty slow days. That's when we get our days off. But I always wonder, like, am I doing it right? Am I doing the day off right? The first day off yesterday was just a lounge day. A couple loads of laundry, laying in bed, watching TV all day long. Sweet mug, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. I just wish the turtles were on this side because I drink with this hand. You know what I'm saying? So I want to expose the turtles. But whatever. Expose those turtles. So like, how do you guys configure your days off? What's your protocol? What's your rhythm here? Because like me, I always do like the first day off is like the completely relaxed day. Some people do it opposite. Like if you think about like the way Saturday and Sunday is structured, it's almost like Saturday is the day where you do shit, you know? Saturday is the day where you go to the amusement park, or you go out and hike or do something, you know? Soccer tournaments. And then Sunday is like the day of rest, you know? That's when God rested, you know? So want to follow in his footsteps or hers. So it seems like normally people would do like the activity right after, you know, on their first day off, the activity day. And then Sunday is the day of rest. That's when you lounge around, you watch football, you barbecue, catch up on the laundry. I think I do it backwards, though. I think, like, my first day off, I usually do the resting first, you know, rest it up. And then Sunday, my Sunday, which is my Tuesday. Am I confusing you? You work 980s. What does that mean? 9/80s. 9 days in a row, 80 hours. Is that what I'm grasping? I just want to know if I'm doing it right. I know there's no wrong or right, but so like my first day off is usually like and party every day, so it all runs together. I mean, I do party every day, you know. I like to party. First day off yesterday. All I did all day, we just laid in bed. Laid in bed all day, you know, after laid in bed, started the stream late because we were laying in bed. After I got off the stream, right back to bed. Boom. Right back into the bed, streaming, laying in bed, watching TV. Eventually got up and ate, right back in bed again. Sporadically doing laundry throughout the day. Like, not like laundry where you set a timer, but like laundry where it's just like, all right, I'll change it when I get up next. You know, next time I have to use the bathroom, I'll switch to laundry, you know. He worked 9 days back in the 80s. That was a rough stretch, man. It was a rough stretch. I remember. I couldn't even, work through the opening of Back to the Future. It sucked. It was 8 days before I figured out what Save the Clock Tower was. Save the Clock Tower! Marty! I get up, cook breakfast only on the weekends. I do breakfast clean, do running, Sunday the same. Oh, so you back to back, you do the same thing on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday are interchangeable. Today is the activity day. Yesterday was the rest day, laying in bed all day long, watching TV, caught up on some good TV. Nothing really like of note. We watched a lot of sports documentaries. Surprisingly enough, I didn't know this, but my girlfriend is enjoying the sports documentary. She likes watching documentaries, but I didn't know if she would be down with the sports documentary. So one day I put on a sports documentary. What's the name of it? It's the one about Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa in their chase for the home run chase, that wonderful baseball season. I don't even like baseball, but I like movies about baseball. So I put that on like last week, and it was like one of those things where I thought she was doing something else, so I put on something for myself, and it turns out her, whatever she was going to do got canceled, and so she laid down with me and was watching this movie. And I was going to turn it off. I was like, oh, we can watch whatever you want, because I'm like that, a giver. And she was like, no, let's keep watching this. This is very interesting. And then a couple days later, after we watched it, she said, like, I really like that sports documentary. I like that documentary. It was really good. So we're laying around yesterday, and she was like, you want to put on another documentary? And it was like, oh, shit. All right, let's go for it. And so we watched the one about the day where the OJ chase happened. Like, if you guys ever seen that documentary, it's like, I forget the date exactly, but it was like June 24th, 1994 is the name of the documentary. And all these crazy things happened in one day. It was the opening of the World Cup. It was the New York Rangers Stanley Cup parade in New York. Arnold Palmer's last round of golf. The baseball, I want to say baseball season. Oh, baseball was going on strike. The NBA Finals was happening, and overlaying all of this was the OJ thing. And they just kind of go from clip to clip, showing you what was happening throughout the day with a timeline. And as the documentary goes on, the OJ news gets more and more prominent. It starts to overshadow all these other events. So we watched that one. Interesting, but it wasn't as great as the other ones because there's no narrator. It's just clip, 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 clip. So we watched that, and then I went to go brush my teeth and get ready for bed. And when I came back, she had already started another sports documentary herself. She said, "Have you ever seen this one?" It was about it said best of enemies, Boston Celtics versus the LA Lakers. And she had started watching it without me and stopped it and said, "Hey, I started watching this documentary. I think you might like it." And it was about the Lakers. Of course, I'm going to like it, And so we watched that last night. Long. I think it was like 4 hours long. 3 parts, 4 hours, something like that. She fell asleep at the end, but she didn't miss much. But it was really good, like really good documentary. But I think that opens her up to watching Winning Time with me. Because I started watching Winning Time the other day, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a good show. But I fell asleep. I was so tired, I fell asleep. But yeah, so we're going to hopefully get into that Winning Time show with, what's his name? What's the guy's name? I always forget his name. The guy who is in Talladega Nights. He's Will Ferrell's sidekick. He has 3 names. What is his name? I cannot think of it right now. Access that part of your brain. John C. Reilly. Boom. Yeah, Brian Joel, Winning Time. So yeah, we watched that documentary, and like all the characters in Winning Time are, portrayed in this documentary. The real people, Dr. Buss, Magic, and man, they were brutal to each other. Thank you, Brian Joel, John C. Reilly. But watching the real documentary about the Lakers versus the Boston Celtics, you realize like the NBA is totally different now. Like it was just a fist fight every single night with these guys. Elbows, punches being thrown, guys being pushed up, pushed into the stands, like just constantly. They're fighting under the basket. They're fighting all the way down to the other end of the court, just fighting, just throwing punches at each other, pushing each other, talking so much shit. Nowadays the NBA is just more like I say it's the most popular black reality show of all time. There's the NBA, and then there's Basketball Wives, and whatever else comes. These days it's more of a reality show, and all the players, there's rivalries, but they're still friends at the end of the day, because they're all just making money. It's not like it used to be, where it was just brutal and a lot of racial shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they really go into the racial shit. Boston Celtics being the quote unquote white team, the Lakers being the black team. They take you into like some of the kind of civil rights things that were happening in the 80s, in the 70s, 60s. And Boston being a really, really, a lot of racial overtones in Boston, it still is, if you know anybody from Boston, there's still a lot of kind of racist shit happening over there. So yeah, the documentary was really good. So that was cool, man. That's what we did. We watched sports documentaries. We laid in bed. I ducked out for a minute, got some food. I get food for 50% off here at the hotel now, which is wonderful. $11, 2 meals. It's amazing. I love it. So we sat in bed, ate some burgers and pizza, and watched sports documentaries. But that was my day yesterday. Today is different. Today's the day where we're handling business. This is the activity day. We're going to, she's got some stuff to do in the afternoon here. But as soon as she's done, as soon as I'm done with this, we're both handling business, After that, we're going to go and go hiking. Yesterday was hot, man. Hot here in the Pacific Northwest. Now, I mean, like, not hot like some of you guys, like Dr. GTI knows hot. I think it's like in the 90s over there in Livermore right now. Not like that. I think it was, I don't know. I'm going to take a guess and say it was in the upper 70s maybe yesterday. 76. But that's hot to us. We're like snowmen out here now. Hey, right on cue. Dr. GTI, I had just mentioned your name. What's the temperature out there in Livermore today, Dr. GTI? Or what was it yesterday? Because I'm guessing it was probably in the 90s, which is unbearable for me. Which is funny because I'm a Native American. I got the brown skin. I should be well suited for warmer climates. And not at all. Not at all. I think I'm Inuit or something like that. I don't think I'm Navajo. I think I'm Inuit. Because I cannot handle the heat. I can't do it. I can handle it physically. Like I don't burn that much. I could deal with it, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. 90s yesterday for sure. Yeah, I can't handle that. It's 80 here so far. It's pretty early for 80. So yeah, it was in the 70s yesterday, which is hot for us Portlandites. And yeah, halfway through the afternoon, we had the windows open and we were trying to cool off, and we were laying around all day just watching TV, and it was like, damn, we missed a good one. We should have left the house today. We even thought about it like later in the afternoon, like at 4 or 5, like, should we just go hiking now? But why ruin a day of doing nothing by doing something, So today we agreed 98 is supposed to be oh my God, 98? 98 is supposed to be the high? Oh, fuck that. Ugh. See, that's gross. That's gross. That's like Mars. That's like Martian temperatures. I'm not down with that. I try to keep my temperatures, below 80. 83 to me is like borderline unbearable. Mitchell Wade says it's 60 and rainy in KC. I can deal with that. I can deal with 60. I bet it's humid though. See, that sounds humid, My favorite is I like maybe 56 degrees with some rain. I like 56 degrees with some rain. Most people won't like that. Most people would be like, that sounds like a terrible day. To me, that sounds beautiful. 56 and rainy, boom. Because, you know, I don't need to get out. I don't need to go do all that. I'd rather have a cup of chai and, you know, catch up on some dramas. I did not know you were home.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Ayla.
Really? I have the music on and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not even know. Ayla's up, everybody. Ayla's awake. What are you doing today?
I'm not sure.
Huh?
I'm not sure. but
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. You look ready because you look like you're about to go do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the world opens up to me now that I'm ready.
Oh, okay. But really, you don't have any plans.
Not a single one.
I like that. I'm more the type of person who like gets dressed when I have to do something.
Yeah.
But I like your style right now. You're just like, I'm gonna get ready, and if something happens, you want to go hiking later?
Quite dang possibly.
She's doing a call at 11:30, and then she'll probably be done by like 1, and then we're gonna go over to Mom's neighborhood and go do that hike.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay. If nothing opens up before then, sure, I'll try a little sip. Okay, I'm gonna try some of the Nitro Pepsi right now. So, is there coffee in this thing? Is that what you were telling me?
Yes, there's nitro brew, right?
I don't know.
Nitro's a... Nitro.
I thought they just meant like it's like getting it out of the tap or something like that.
Then maybe, because I did open up the vanilla one yesterday, and it didn't taste very coffee-y.
Okay, but you also said it didn't have like a bunch of carbonation. See, so I thought this would be like, you know, like when you like the Guinness with the ball in it, yeah, and it's like, I just got this out of a tap. Like they try to recreate the. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try some of this. Mitchell Wayne says, "Manifest that money, sis side." Oh, we're manifesting. Thank you so much.
You can show
Draft cola. Yeah, see? Nitro infused cola. Smaller bubbles, smoother taste. Aha. All right.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Let's try this.
I hate it. I hate it. There's no carbonation. It literally tastes like when you get
Flat soda.
flat soda.
It tastes like you opened up a 2-liter of this stuff 2 days ago, and there was half of it left after a birthday party, and you're like, oh, I wonder if that Pepsi's still good. And you're like, oh, it tastes like Pepsi, but
Yeah.
there's
I would
absolutely no bubbles.
go back to the McDonald's counter and say, hey, your carbonation is out.
Yeah, hey guys, you should check your carbonation.
'Cause this is
Yeah, there's no bubbles in this. I'll wait.
It's bad. I don't like it at all.
I feel like they had a batch of Pepsi that went bad, and they were like, what are we going to do with all this fucking Pepsi?
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
You can only taste the sweetness because there's no bubbles. She has some Diet Coke in here? Oh, no.
Yeah, there's Diet Coke in the door.
But the Diet Coke has no sugar, so never mind.
Babe, you want to try this?
No.
It's the right answer.
Well, that's going down good. So.
Okay, well, experiment. You know, you tried. It's smooth and creamy, easy to drink. Chill can, pour hard, admire and enjoy.
Honestly, I wish they had nitro coffee. Nitro brew? Isn't that?
Wow, there is no bubbles in here.
It's disgusting.
This is weird.
Okay, well, if they have that, vertical.
Infused with nitrogen. The pod is in both of the caps. Same thing. Who took my lighter? Who took your lighter, old Raven? It literally is a can of flat soda. That's my review of this Nitro Pepsi. I'll show you the can, right?
Vanilla's no better.
Nitro Pepsi. It literally is a more expensive can of soda with no bubbles. I feel like they had a batch of soda that they were gonna make, and they were like, oh shit. Like the taste tester was like, oh, did you guys carbonate this? And somebody was like, oh shit, I forgot to carbonate it. They were like, oh my god, dude, we have 20 tons of this. What are we gonna do with it? And some genius was like, let's just market it. Like, let's just market it.
Do you know Soulja Boy make like soda or something, and it's like $20 a can?
Are you serious?
And people are buying it because it's black owned and everyone wants to try it.
Oh my god. So
And it's like
Soulja Boy is a guy who I thought never would last. You know, he made that one song and it was just like, you know, "Ooh," and I was like, okay, that's cool. You went viral. You got a dance out of it, but bye. You'll be gone now. And now he's like a brand.
A brand.
Right?
Of making business moves.
Right?
Smart moving.
I mean, yeah. I mean, extremely smart. I wish I was, he pulled it off. Amazing. But yeah, this is.
Don't get it.
I don't get it. I wonder if somebody out there understands what this is and appreciates it. I wonder if there's.
Actually, I had a client text me and he said, I just had the blue one the other day. I liked it.
Really?
Yeah. So there is someone out there.
I mean, you have to really like the flavor of Pepsi. Like, you gotta just love that flavor and say, like, man, I would love to just down that can of soda, but there's so many fucking bubbles in the way that I cannot appreciate the flavor of it. I wish it was flat. I could just down it, I guess.
Says no. Yeah. Whatever.
It's just no bubbles. Like, they literally sold you a can of soda, more expensive can of soda with no bubbles. That's wild. The Monster Nitros are amazing. Did it foam when you poured it? It foamed a little bit. Nothing to write home about. They said they're telling you right there. It's just like, hey, it's smoother. There's not a lot of bubbles. Smaller bubbles, smoother taste.
They made it look so nice in the movie theater where it did all that, like, had that nice pretty foam on top.
Right.
And they got me, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It would have like a nice head on it, you know, and you would like, you know, it would be like a draft. But nah, this was, like you said, if you got that at a McDonald's, you would be like, no, this is no good. Can I have a Sprite? You know? What's up, Red Ray? What up, dude? How you doing? I'm doing good, man. Day 2 of my 2 days off in a row. D-Grade says he also used to sell game consoles and got a lot of trouble for it. Old Raven Farm likes the flat cola. I don't mind a flat cola, but I like when it's like I said, like if you get a 2-liter and you're drinking out of it, the first day it's going to have a lot of bubbles. Second day, less bubbles. Third day, that's it. You better finish it on the third day because it's not going to be good later on down the road. I'm okay with that, you know, because I know what I'm getting. We talking Nitro Pepsi? Sucks in my opinion. Yes, Brian Joel, we're talking Nitro Pepsi. A can of soda with no bubbles. And they sold it to people. They marketed it. I'm telling you. Somebody somewhere fucked up and they were like, what are we going to do with this 20 tons of bubbleless Pepsi? Let's market it to people. And people will buy it because marketing, they know how to market shit, man. So I'll give you that, Pepsi. You marketed the hell out of this shit. You made a new can and everything. I mean, it looks like it should be awesome, but...
I'm taking the butt bread.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Take the real bread.
Oh, well, I wasn't sure. So.
Yeah, whatever. Mikasa Sukasa. Truly. Mitchell Wayne, it was flat then. I mean, it was flat, but I think it was supposed to be flat. Unless we got a bunk can, but I think that's. But she said she got 2 cans of this stuff. She got the vanilla and the cola, and she said both of them were this way. So I think that's just what it is. It's just flat soda with a pretty can. Wild. Yeah, Soulja Boy's a trip. He's a trip because he has all kinds of shit out there. You know, like D-Grade saying that he used to sell game consoles. I know he does like NFTs. He had his own like cryptocurrency. Huh?
Does he have shoes too?
Have what?
Shoes too.
Juice?
Shoes.
Shoes. Oh, yeah. They all have shoes now. Every rapper has a shoe, you know? Like when I'm looking for shoes, it's just like rappers name after rapper. The Yeezy, the Travis Scott, the Soulja Boy. I'm like, for real? Master P. Like what happened to like Ewing, Ken Griffey, Jordan? No, it's rappers are taking over now.
I mean, Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk? Well, like the thing is like as a musician, you're not making money off your music anymore at all. Your music is your marketing. Your music is your promotion. People hear your music and they're like, oh, okay, what does this guy have to offer me? You know, oh, shit, I'll buy this, I'll buy that, I'll buy this because I like this brand. I like this lifestyle.
I saw a thing on Instagram the other day of Beyonce is saying that nobody makes albums anymore. That's why they're not going to last, is because they waste all their talent trying to make these quick bops. That's not going to carry them through the long term.
Right. And Beyonce knows, because Beyonce knows, because she makes albums. You know, she makes an album that you play song number 1 through song number 10, and they all go together. It's all a theme, just like Jay-Z. I mean, it's rare these days. Everybody, like, so, okay, sometimes somebody will say, like, have you heard that new, so-and-so? And I'll be like, oh, he has a new album out? And they're like, oh, no, it's that new song. And then I'll look, and I'm like, oh, this guy hasn't made an album for 3 years, but he's made 4 singles. And even when he does come out with an album, those songs aren't on the album, Like, it's really a trip. My cousin broke it down to me. If Geek Illuminati is listening, Geek Illuminati broke it down to me one time. He said, artists now are doing mixtapes, and mixtapes are for, like, the culture. You do a mixtape, you put it out for free, you get the youth excited about your music, and then when you drop an album on iTunes, the mainstream buys that album. You got the mixtapes for free, and then the people with money who are actually spending money on albums buy your album, but it's a shit album. The shit that they release on iTunes, like, you could look at, like, Lil Wayne's catalog these days. It's like he drops an album every now and then, but his mixtapes are the fire, But the mixtapes are for the culture, to hype people up. Yeah, exactly. I mean, putting into his terms, he said,
what do you think of Kendrick Lamar? Because I had a conversation with someone on the boat the other day.
Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah.
The new album, or just in general?
The new album.
I think it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, someone complained, like, it's a great song. It's like, it's a good album, but after you're just left thinking, like, whoa, it's so deep. Like, he because it wasn't a bop and because he couldn't, like, play it wasn't party music, he didn't have time for it.
So that's the modern society now, is like, people just want those bops, they want those hits, they don't want to think about the music. But, like, I was the same way about Kendrick Lamar's second album, To Pimp a Butterfly. The first time I heard it, I was like, this is a rapper who just did a lot of acid, and like, and I can't vibe out to this. Years later, going back listening to it, I was like, oh my god, this album's a fucking masterpiece. He
also said, and, like, this music he didn't make for me, because he's like some white boy in Vancouver, Washington, and he was like, there was just nothing on that album for me.
Right.
I haven't listened to it, so I'm not sure what he means by that.
It's the thing about Kendrick Lamar. I'm just talking to my sister right now. The thing about Kendrick Lamar is, this guy has already won Pulitzer Prizes for his music. This guy's he's a poet. He's a modern day poet. He's making like I told you about the song about the arithmetic.
I tried to tell him, but I was messing it up.
He's not making. This is the thing. He's not making an album for you to just listen to during the summer. He's making an album that you're going to listen to for the rest of your life. And so a lot of these other guys, they're going to make, like, The Baby. You know what I'm saying? The Baby will put out some album, and people are like, yo, that shit, like, that's the hit right there. That shit slaps. But a year down the road, they're not going to be going back and listening to it, because the beats, the melodies are played out now. They heard it, they danced to it, they made their TikToks to it.
And they're no Too Short, because Too Short kind of does that too. His albums are just bop after bop. Like, he just doesn't stop.
Right. But you're not going to go back and say and listen to a Too Short album and discover something new about yourself. No. You're not going to be like, oh my God, this is what he was really saying. No, Too Short's talking about bitches and hoes. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. I will say I would go back. I listened to some old school Too Short because there was a time where I would listen to Too Short and just take it at face value and say, okay, Too Short, he's just talking about pimp shit, bitches and hoes, whatever, So every now and then I like to listen to some ignorant music. But when you listen to some old school Too Short, you realize something. Too Short had a band.
Your band?
A band. Too Short and his crew was called the Dangerous Crew. And I always thought, oh yeah, it's just his rap gang, The Dangerous Crew was actually a band. And all the guys who were in the Dangerous Crew that were also rappers were his drummer, his bassist, his guitarist, his pianist. And so when you listen to old school Too Short, like Cocktails, there's a live band that Too Short is rapping over. So there is some genius behind it. He's gone away from that a little bit and done more like heavily produced music. But like the old music that he used to make is like fucking music, like legit music that he could perform live on stage with a band. But yeah, there's not a lot of substance there. But Kendrick Lamar is definitely the kind of guy who's making substance, and you'll listen to it once and you'll say like, oh yeah, I can't really dance to that. But once you start listening to it over and over as the years go on, you'll be like, oh shit, he said that? He really said that, you know? Kendrick, yeah.
You have to be creative.
Yes. And so yeah, that new Kendrick Lamar album from Get, I could hear sonically it was really good, but I knew it wasn't sonically it wasn't gonna be the type of thing that like everybody dances to or makes TikToks to. It's not gonna be the type of thing. You're not gonna play the new Kendrick Lamar when you're on a boat,
no,
hanging out with your friends.
It might transform that one person's life.
Right, but you could listen to Kendrick Lamar when you have your earbuds in and you're like, or you're driving down the road and you're gonna hear and you're gonna start saying like, wait, what did he say? Repeat that track, and keep listening, you know? Yeah. A lot of his stuff wasn't really like mainstream sounding, you know? Like the first album, Swimming Pools, you know?
Yep.
It was like one of his biggest songs, but it wasn't like really poppy. But when you listen to it, you're like, oh my God, what is this guy saying? I grew up around some people living their life in bottles. Granddaddy had the golden flask backstroke every day in Chicago. Some people like the way it feels. Some people want to kill their sorrows. Some people want to fit in with the popular. That was my problem. I was in a loud room, dark tunes, looking to fill my cup soon. Looking to fill my cup, gonna get fucked up. I watched the crowd mood changing by the minute, and the record's on repeat. Took a sip, then another sip. Then somebody said to me, why you babysitting? Only 2 or 3 shots. I'ma show you how to turn it up a notch. Fill a swimming pool full of liquor, then you dive in. Pool full of liquor, then you dive in. He's talking about alcoholism. And when you listen to it at first, you're just like, what's he talking about? Oh yeah, let's drink. Fill a swimming pool of liquor. Dive in it. But he's breaking down alcoholism and the effects of alcoholism on your family, on you, society. But it takes a couple listens to you figure out like, oh shit, this guy's talking about people with alcohol abuse, people who drink and get into bad situations, how it could ruin your life, you know? But you're not going to get that at face value. You're going to have to listen to it again and again and again and break down those lyrics. And that's why he's making timeless music, is because you can't just get everything that it has to offer in one sitting. Yeah. I'm still listening to that album, you know?
If you were a superhero comic book, lyrics should be some part of that, because that was crazy.
What?
I don't remember words from songs, and you just pulled it out of your ass, okay?
That is my superpower, is remembering lyrics.
Yeah.
And like being able to, because like I was talking to Brittany about this. Brittany is a lyric person too. Like seriously, like she could just say like, I want to sing a song to you, and she'll sing me the whole song. And I'm like, how do you remember this song from 2003? Every single word, and not just every single word, but like she'll do like the guitar part. She'll be like, and like the hooks and the little ohs and ahs and yeahs in the whole song. I'm like, dude, you remember every single word and sound in that song. But it's like, I was talking to her about it. Like for me, memorizing a song just means that I can replay it anytime. If I don't have any music around, I could just go into my head and replay one of my favorite songs. So if I love a song enough, I will sit there, I'll read the lyrics, I'll remember it, I'll memorize the song. So anywhere I can go, that song is always in my hard drive.
Okay, so you do put time in it though?
Sometimes, yeah, most of the time. Okay. But a lot of the time, so like there are times where something's so deep that I'll have to read the lyrics and really, because I'm like, what are they really saying? I think I'm fucking some of these words up, you know? But a lot of it is also the repetition of like, I could hear a song one time, and by the end of the song, I already know like the hook. And that's when I know like, oh, this is going to be a good one. And I'll play it again, and I'll play it again, play it again. And then next thing you know, I'm picking up other parts of the song, not just the hook. Now I know the first couple bars, you know, and then the next time I listen to it, I already know those bars and the hook. So I'll add something more and add something more. And then after a few listens, then I have the whole song in my head, you know?
I want to know if your people are a lyric person or a feeling person.
Are you guys lyrics person or melody person? Do you guys out there remember the lyrics, or do you just listen to the melodies and have no clue what the artist is saying? I want to know. Let me know. Mitchell Wayne says, sorry, got to run. Emerging drugs in the workplace webinar. Good times. Emerging drugs in the workplace webinar. That sounds like a good webinar. Let's see you do Master of Puppets. Master of Puppets, Master of Puppets, Master of Puppets. I can't conjure it up right now. I'm trying to, if I could get the beginning part, then I could flow into it. Master of Puppets are killing your dreams. Master of Puppets is pulling your strings, twisting your mind, slashing your dreams. Take it from me, you can't be afraid. Just call me because I am your... Just call on me because I am your slave. Master. Master. I'm trying to think of the actual verses, though. Nick Magnuson, you're a melody person. Hey, Nick Magnuson! By the way, Nick, congratulations on the new video. Not only did I watch the whole thing, but I learned a lot from the video. There was a lot of the tips and tricks, guys. If you haven't seen Nick Magnuson's newest video, he's trying something new. He said he's kind of didn't know if it was going to be his thing. I will say right now, Nick, the editing in the video was amazing. The clips that you were putting in there, I was really, really impressed by your editing. The video flowed. It had a bunch of stuff that I hadn't even really thought of. I'm a novice traveler. I'm the type of person, like, I really feel like I fuck up when I travel. I do everything that you put on the list, I do wrong. I show up to the airport super late. I don't have enough time for emergent. If something comes up, sometimes I'll get to the airport just in time, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, they only have 2 security lines. So that eats into my time. I'm way too bulky. I'll have a carry-on and a backpack, and sometimes I'll get to the plane and they're like, oh, there's no more carry-on. There's no more carry-on room. We have to check your backpack. I've checked the bag when I have the layover flights and they have to connect to another flight, and there's that chance where your bag gets lost. I go through third-party sites to get the cheapest ticket, but in doing that, I'll end up with a shitty-ass layover where I'm stuck in the Fresno airport for like 6 hours. You know, I've done things like that because I'm not paying attention to those details. And so your video definitely got me to start thinking about all the mistakes I was making when I was traveling. So go over to Nick Magnuson's channel and check out his new video, the top 10 ways that you could make your travel stress-free. And I personally thought that the security checkpoint thing, I thought it was way more expensive than that. Do you know about the security checkpoint, like the Real ID thing or whatever? Like TSA pre-check.
Yeah, the fancy one.
Right. $85 for 5 years.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
They don't market that.
No.
Nobody does that.
$85 for 5 years ain't shit. Ain't shit. I pay 100 something.
I'm just spend that on my nails.
Right? I pay like $130 for HBO Max for 1 year.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I could spend $85 to go through every security line for 5 years.
That's pretty cool.
And it's not that hard. You know, you give them your fingerprints, you give them your IDs and shit like that, and then you can just stroll through. You don't have to take off I learned all this from Nick Magnuson's video. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take off your belt. You don't have to take off your sweater. You go through the special line. They get you in and out. If there's any kids traveling with you, they can go under your umbrella.
Yeah.
So it's just like, why are we not all doing that? You know, like so that's something that I really learned from your video. I think that was the one that he said, like, number 9 is the best one. That was the best one for sure. I had no clue. I thought it was like $250 a year, you know, like for $85 ain't shit. Like, let's face it, you know, that's like
For stress-free living?
for stress-free. Yeah, right. That's like a couple eighths. I smoke that. Like, for real. I smoke that shit. So Nick says melody. D-Grade says I don't know. Old Raven says depends. I guess some songs the lyrics make the song. Sometimes a good melody is enough. Yeah, I mean, naturally, the song has to have a melody for me to pay attention to it, in the first place. But I'm definitely a lyrics person. That's why I love Jay-Z and Wu-Tang and Kendrick, not saying I don't like Snoop Dogg, but
I love Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop Dogg too. I love Snoop Dogg too, but I haven't gotten into a Snoop Dogg album since Doggy Style. That came out in 1992, and all his other albums since have just been regurgitations of that. He has a cool voice, but he's not saying anything. Nothing groundbreaking there. So yeah, I love the lyrics. All right, I was gonna talk about some shit. Agree with Old Raven. Red Ray, but Red Ray is Red Ray is like our resident music knowledge guy, whatever the term would be for that. Red Ray knows a lot of, and not only does he know the lyrics, but he knows a lot about the instrumentation of everything. And I'm guessing you probably know equipment, you probably know oh, that guy was playing these kind of cymbals and they have this kind of sound, or they were recording through this. You get really in deep, and I'm always impressed by Red Ray's musical knowledge, because it's not just rock, which he plays rock and things like that, but he knows a lot about all kinds of music. So you're definitely our musical expert over here. I would say. Jen Matt says Old Raven Farm 100%. Yeah, I mean the song I have to vibe to the song to care about the lyrics. It has to draw me in with that melody. But once you draw me in, I'm going to want to learn what you're saying. I mean, because a lot of times I want to sing along with the song, but what if they're saying some whack shit, Then I'm singing along, then I'm singing some whack shit, So, some lady out here staring at me. Hi. People got to be looking at me what is this guy doing every single day? Yelling at his computer.
All right.
Huh?
I just don't want to do my laundry. Anything not to do that.
So you're going. Where are you going? You're going to go do something.
Get my nails done.
All right. Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
I might bring shoes so I can meet you on the trails.
You hate cleaning, huh?
No, but honestly, I now think it's an illusion for control. That this is the thing that I'll do to avoid doing the thing that I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Cleaning?
Yeah, some people need to clean their house with it. I mean, it's true, but at the end of the day, nothing's really changed. The things that you actually have to get done are still in front of you. It's an illusion of control, and I'm trying to let go.
Okay, so I'm kind of with you on that. My thing is I always have to do something here. I have to do a bunch of things on the stream. I have to write things. I have to do things on the streaming part of things, and I always kind of push them back. And what I always use as an excuse is I can't concentrate on this if I have to do that. And so I'll sit down to do some work, and I'll say oh wait, I should be cleaning the floorboards, when it's not a big deal to do that, but I can't get into this unless that's done.
Tony Robbins says it's a lie, so I'm right.
Oh, okay. Tony Robbins, I'm with you. Tony knows. I love
right
that.
Now it's more feels like an excuse because it's been there for a week now.
What, your room's messy?
For sure.
What if you just say hey, I have a messy room, and that's just my brand. And just go with it.
I mean, I might be trying to lie to myself that clean is me. But
What's Purpose World Tour?
Justin Bieber.
Oh. I appreciate that, man. I seem to fetishize about gear and music store and everything. So you're definitely right about that. Are you the guy that goes to the guitar store and let me play the Fender Stratocaster? They're again, Red Ray. She will be mine. Oh yes, she will be mine. Mitch Hedberg says a joke about that. Says vacuum stores are like music stores, but instead of a bunch of guitars hanging in the window, they just have a bunch of vacuums. The only difference is there's not a bunch of deadbeats with long hairs looking to try out the new vacuums. Oh. I was gonna pull up Twitter. Cassie says, I have what looks like a mess, but I know what's in each pile. There you go. Yeah. I like that. It might look like a mess, but I know what's in there. That's a clean pile. That's a dirty pile. That's in the middle. It's like I've worn that stuff once. I could probably wear it again. It doesn't smell. I didn't sweat in that shirt. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty bad about that kind of stuff. Cause a lot of what I do a lot of times is this was my kind of lounging around the one of your favorite scenes, totally relatable. This was like my lounging around the house shirt. It's soft. I could like lay in it, but it's not dirty yet. So I'm wearing it. But a lot of times, like I'll wake up and I'll do the stream, and you guys know, like I'll wear like a funny T-shirt, So I'll put a shirt on just for the stream, and then right after the stream, I'll take that shirt off and put this shirt on, put like a lounging around shirt. And so I have a shirt that I've only worn for 2 hours. So it's clean, but it's not 100% clean because I've worn it. And it has a little bit of like wear, like a little crease around the belly or something like that. And so I'll fold it, but I'll put it in a separate pile of things that need to be worn one more time before I feel comfortable throwing it into the laundry. And then there's shirts where I've worn entire day that goes right into the laundry. I will say, and Brittany could probably back me up on this, that my laundry rotation game is like really fucking weird. Like I'm really weird about my laundry. Like, huh?
Oh, she got you.
What'd she say?
You don't do the fucking laundry. I do the fucking laundry.
Ooh, hey, I did the laundry last night. I pulled it out of the dryer after you washed and dried it.
And who folded it?
You folded most of it. She doesn't fold my shirts, though. I fold your shirts. All right? As I pick my nose with my thumb. Yeah, she does do most of the laundry.
But you did do laundry regularly when she wasn't here, too.
Yeah.
You were on top of your shit.
Yeah.
You always made me feel bad because I left my shit in there, and then you couldn't do your shit because, I still do that.
Brittany is on top of the laundry. I will say that. She's like really on top of laundry. Way more than me.
You look good. Thank you.
Um,
You're wearing that to walk.
I know, right? That's not a hiking outfit. Brittany's.
It's not really a hike. It's a nice scenery.
No, Brittany does this sometimes. She'll get dressed really nice and look really cute just to be cute here, and then she'll change her outfit, which I can respect. I like to look at this. I'm gonna pretend that it's all for me.
It is.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome, honey.
Mitch Hedberg, the GOAT. Love Mitch. We started the show off with some Mitch. Sometimes I get into like a real Mitch Hedberg kick. I found that Mitch Hedberg is perfect for like if you're on a long drive, okay? On a long drive, you listen to music. During the drive, you vibe out, bang your head, sing along. But right before you're about to enter your destination, I always find that it's good to play some Mitch Hedberg. Especially like, okay, here's an example. I went on the long drive one time to the Indian reservation. We're getting to the Indian reservation, but we're tired after the drive, right? I don't want to arrive at my grandparents' house and be tired. I don't want to arrive there and not be sociable because they're waiting for me. And nothing's worse than when you're waiting for someone, they come in and then they're tired. And they're just like, hey, what's up? I'm just going to take a shower and go to bed. So what I found is listen to music during the long stretches of the drive. But right before you get to your destination, play some comedy. Gets your mind starting to laugh. Gets you start to smile. It gets your inner chi. It raises that up, and so then you're in the mood to smile. You're in the mood to laugh. It's a psychological thing. You know, like when you go to a comedy show, they don't just bring a comic out. There's always some douchebag who is like hosting the event, who is kind of trying to make you laugh, but he's not really funny, but he kind of gets you in that mood. He kind of gets you horny for some laughter, you know? That's what I do with Mitch Hedberg, is when I'm going somewhere, right like an hour before I'm about to arrive to the destination, I start putting on some comedy. I'll listen to Hannibal Buress, some George Carlin, some Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg's really good for it because he's just dropping jokes. Starts to laugh, you start to joke around in the car. It raises that energy. You feel more jovial. And then once you get to your destination, you get out of the car, you arrive, you're in the mood to talk, you're in the mood to laugh, you're in the mood to smile instead of being so tired and worn out and road weary. So Mitch Hedberg is my thing on long drives. Always bump some Mitch right at the very end of my trip. Right when I'm about to arrive to my destination, throw on some Mitch. Mitch is great for that. It's a great segue into my next bit, actually, because I was going to talk about comedy. So I saw that Ricky Gervais is getting backlash for some transphobic jokes. And I don't know if you guys ever watched Ricky Gervais or follow his career or anything like that. The dude is fucking hilarious. He's at the top of his game. You know, these days, especially as Americans, we point to Chappelle and say Chappelle is the GOAT, you know, and Chappelle is the GOAT. We point to him and say, like, this is the standard of stand-up comedy right now. But Ricky Gervais is really in that level too. He doesn't get mentioned a lot. I think it's because he's British, and I think the accent might throw a lot of people off. They don't know how to, especially us Westerners, us Americans, us North Americans. I don't know. A lot of my friends aren't mentioning Ricky Gervais as being in that category, but he is. He's a great writer, a great performer. I think a lot of the times the accent kind of throws us off because a British accent almost sanitizes things in a lot of way. You know, that's why, like, when they're going to sell you like a Rolex watch or a luxury automobile, it's always a British person doing the voiceover, you know? Welcome to the world of Rolex, you know, and it's always like, I can't do a British accent, but you know, it's always like this sense of classiness, you know. Not you sell a Dodge and it's like, try a new Dodge truck, you know, come out and McDonald's and Jack in the Box, and that's an American accent. But you know, if they want to sell you something upscale, it's a British person. And so I think a lot of the times that sanitizes his jokes, and you don't realize that Ricky Gervais is not only hilarious, but he's also fucking dirty. You know, he's very, very fucking dirty, very dark, very vulgar, you know, which I love. You know, I'm not criticizing the guy. I love him. Nick Magnuson says Brian Regan is another one of my go-tos. Brian Regan is amazing as a stand-up comic. And not only is he hilarious through and through, you know, his delivery and the way he not makes fun of himself, but he makes himself seem like he does, like, very physical in his delivery. But one of the most special things about Brian Regan that blows my mind, he's never cussed. Never cussed. Brian Regan never uses vulgarity on stage, but he still can hold his own with the dirtiest of the comedians out there. Love Brian Regan. Love him. Cassie says, I like to stop at the gas station down the street from my grandma's house, so I'm not like, hi, I'm here, but I really have to pee first. That's a great idea. That's a road trip hack right there. Pee somewhere first and eat. I always eat first. I go to someone's house and I'm already full. Nothing's worse than showing up at someone's house after a road trip and you're tired, and then you just want to eat their food, you know, and then you dirty their dishes, and then you're like, all right, peace, I'm going to bed. See you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you have breakfast waiting for me tomorrow. It sounds like travel tips with West Side. You do the airline tips, I'll do the road trip tips. How about that, Nick? Nick Magnuson. Brian Cox doing McDonald's. I don't know that one. Mitchell Wayne says, fun fact, CBD sales, 4.6 billion in 2020. 15 by 2025. Woo! Damn. I still don't understand CBD. I don't know if it's working for me or not. I've taken CBD many times, and I don't know if it's like a placebo effect where I'm just like, oh man, I'm really high right now, man. I took all that CBD, man. I'm feeling really relaxed. I don't know. And maybe it's working, and I don't even know, and I don't even know what it really is working towards, Oh, I have back pain. I'm going to take CBD. Oh, I'm feeling sluggish. I'm going to take some CBD. I'm not really all there today mentally. I'm going to take some CBD. It's like, so I'm never sure if it's really working for me, but obviously it's working for a lot of people, or they're promoting the fuck out of it because, everywhere I go, CBD is the thing. CBD's in everything. You can find CBD in food, CBD in sodas. I like Gabriel Iglesias, hilarious. Christopher Titus, yes, I like Chris Titus. He hasn't done much since then. Brian Cox does McDonald's commercials, trying to class it up. Oh, okay, really? Classing up McDonald's. I had McDonald's the other day. I'm not gonna lie, road trip food, total road trip food. Even though we ate it in bed, but as much as I hate on McDonald's is like easy to hate on, because they're just the golden arches. They're the standard of fast food. They're really easy to hate on them. But I gotta admit, every time I eat McDonald's, I love it. It's not the greatest food in the world. And in fast food terms, I'd rather have Jack in the Box. But I always eat McDonald's, and I'm always happy when I eat it. There's this flavor in it that brings me back to when I was a kid. Chicken nuggets are always bomb. I love the double quarter pounder with bacon. No ketchup, no mustard, easy on the onions. And then I'll put some mayonnaise on it at home. Their fries are always good, even though the fries this time weren't that great, but we got it delivered. So I think the fries lost some of their heat. Sometimes they oversalt the fries. That can kind of kill it. But yeah, McDonald's, you catch a lot of flack, but you're still the go-to. I used to like McDonald's. Now it just tastes like cardboard. You have to eat what's inside the box. Are you eating the box? It's not edible. But yeah, Ricky Gervais is getting some flack because he was making these trans jokes, and you got to realize comedy's taking a hit these days. Dave Chappelle, I know Dave Chappelle was taking a lot of flack for some of the stuff he was saying. Nick Magnuson also loved McDonald's, and I'm ashamed. Yes, it's like something that people don't talk about. They love it, but they don't talk about it. You're never going to hear someone say like, I love McDonald's. It's always like one of those things where like you're eating McDonald's with someone and you're like, oh, you like McDonald's? I like, yeah. What do you get? Double quarter pounder? Yeah, me too. Okay, yeah. I love the nuggets. You want to get some nuggets and split them? Yeah, shh. Let's not tell anybody. Hey, where'd you guys go to eat? We went to eat, we ate pizza. Yeah, we ate pizza. We didn't go to McDonald's at all. Cassie says, I love the CBD muscle cream for joint pain. This seems to work better. Okay. Brian Joel, I always feel off after eating McDonald's. Well, I swear, I have this theory. I can't say if it's true or not, but I feel like they're putting something in the McDonald's. We all know this. It's totally modified, and they're the meat's not really meat, the chicken's not really chicken. I swear to God, either it is a reaction to the calories and the fat and the sugar that's in it. I would swear that they're pumping some kind of caffeine in the McDonald's, because the other day when I ate McDonald's, I was in bed. I was ready to eat McDonald's, brush my teeth, and go to bed. Ate the McDonald's, and right away I felt like I had drank a cup of coffee. I was up. Maybe that's why it's good road trip food, because they're pumping it full of caffeine. I'm going to order Big Mac next time and say caffeine free. I'm loving it. I mean, McDonald's is McDonald's. You're not going to walk away and say like, oh, I feel so good. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to make you feel good. It's supposed to make you feel like high. You get high off the flavor, off the taste, and all that stuff. And then afterwards, you have a come down. I swear to God, there was caffeine in my shit. Because after I ate that food, I was wired. I was like ready to go. I was just like, oh shit, I'm not sleeping anytime soon. Yeah, McDonald's is a trip. So let's see. Ricky. So this is from Variety 5 hours ago. Ricky Gervais's Netflix comedy special Supernature has only been released on the streamer for a few hours, but it has already drawn criticism for a string of graphic transphobic jokes. He says, "Oh, women," he says. "Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. The one with wombs. Those fucking dinosaurs. I love the new women. They're great, aren't they? The new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks." So he's making a joke about trans. And he's already getting backlash for it. You can't predict what will be offensive in the future, Gervais says. You don't know who the dominant mob will be. The worst thing you could say today is women don't have penises, right? So, he's making jokes about the trans community. Now, he's not saying trans people are wrong. He's not saying trans people are bad. He's not saying trans people should be killed. You know what I'm saying? He's making a joke about what we're seeing in society. And this is the thing. That's comedy. That's comedy. Comedians hold a mirror up to society, and we respect the comedians for their voice. How Chappelle looks at the trans community, how Ricky Gervais looks at the trans community, how any comedian would look at the trans community and interpret it in their way. That's why we like these comedians. We like the voice coming out of their mouth. The way George Carlin would talk about things that we see every single day. I love George Carlin. We know this. The way that George Carlin would talk about everyday things, whether it's religion, whether it's government, whether it's a fart. We all connect with these things because they're life experiences. It's just the way that they're going to verbalize it is what attracts us to certain comedians. And so it just seems like this is happening more and more these days, where comedians are getting flack for doing their job, which is talking about society and using their voice, their creative mind, and a guy like Ricky Gervais, a guy like Dave Chappelle. We like them because of the way that they filter information and regurgitate to us. But constantly, these stand-up comedians are coming under flack. I come under flack from things that I've said, not just from people on the internet, but like people around me. Sometimes I'll get off the mic and I'll have someone say like, "Dude, how could you say that about so and so or what whatever?" And it's just like, you got to realize West Side is it's not Johnny White. West Side is a character in a lot of ways. This is me. I'm real. But a lot of things are heightened. There's a lot of things that I would say as West Side because I have the barrier of West Side. It's not really me. I could always point and say that's a character. Things are heightened. I'm much more sensitive. Johnny is much more sensitive than West Side. West Side just says any fucking shit on his mind. I don't even cuss this much in real life. I really don't. West Side cusses a fucking lot. Doesn't red wine give you a headache? Yeah, but eventually the first and the middle part are amazing. Yeah, love that Mitch Hedberg joke. McDonald's makes me feel terrible, but the first and middle part are amazing. They're feeding us human, the long pig. McDonald's is the bottom of my list. I try to find Taco Bell, Sonic, or Jimmy John's on road trips and never eat my local McDonald's. Let me tell you about Jimmy John's. I swore off Jimmy John's. I'll tell you why. I go to Jersey Mike's, which is a very comparable sandwich shop. And Jersey Mike's has a great cheesesteak. I used to be down with Jimmy John's until my sister showed me some stuff online. And not to sway you guys from eating Jimmy John's, but Jimmy John's is one of those dudes who's like a big game hunter. And so if you look on his pictures that he posted on Instagram, there's pictures and pictures of him killing lions, killing elephants, killing endangered species for sport, which to me, it just doesn't make any sense. That's like the ultimate elitist, like killer mentality. I'm going to go kill this beautiful animal because I want to. I want to kill this elephant. I want to get a big gun and I want to feel strong that I killed a huge elephant. If you know anything about elephants, I love elephants, okay? Elephants are super smart. They're super emotional, sensitive animals. We look at them like they're just big dumb beasts, But elephants are like super smart. They have these beautiful family structures. They grieve. They love their young. They're so intelligent. They don't deserve to just be killed for the sport of it. You know, you want to play a sport, go fucking kick a soccer ball around, you know, grab a basketball and shoot some threes. You don't fucking kill an elephant. And so ever since hearing about that and knowing about that, now I cannot eat at a Jimmy John's. Jersey Mike's is good, but stupid expensive for sure. Because look, and this is how they get you too at like these sandwich shops. They'll say like, oh, okay, you can get the regular size sandwich, which is like this big. You know, you get the regular sandwich, that's $5. $5 for the regular. Or you can get the large sandwich, which is like this big, and that's gonna be $20, you know? And I'll go there and I'm like, well, fuck, the $5 sandwich is not gonna do it for me. It's not gonna do that, you know? I'm gonna want 2 of those. So I just gotta spend the $20 and get the large sandwich, and I'll just save it. I'll eat half of it, and then I'll eat the other half the next day. What always happens is I always eat the whole fucking thing. Every time I've been to Jersey Mike's, I always buy the large cheesesteak sandwich, and it's huge. I'm so embarrassed because Brittany will get the regular size sandwich, and it's like this big. And then my sandwich is like, oh, it's like huge. It's sticking out of the bag. Like you need 2 arms to hold it. And I always say the same thing. I'm just going to eat half, and I'll save the other half. And I'll eat the first half, and then I'll be looking at that other half. And I'm like, okay. I wouldn't mind a couple more bites of that flavor. I'm just going to take a couple bites of that next sandwich, and then I'll wrap it up and save it for later. Take a couple bites, and I'm like, well, it's not even right now. I got to bite it until it's even, and then I end up by eating the whole gigantic sandwich. The goddamn thing is like sitting in my stomach, and I'm like, I remember what it looked like when I bought it. That was like a meal for 3 people, and I ate the whole entire thing, and I feel guilt. I feel guilt every single time. That's why people in Thailand consider them part of the family. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. My first experience with trans was a professor that was being sued by the family of an old guy that left everything to her and didn't know that she used to be a man when he married her. Oh, shit. So then I guess like they're like, oh, no, the guy version of you got the inheritance, not the woman version of you. Didn't know that. Guess I will not try to eat there anymore. My little sister's favorite animal is the elephant. Like I said, it wasn't to like dissuade you from eating at Jimmy John's. But it's just something like when I learned that, I couldn't do it anymore. As much as I loved the sandwich, I couldn't do it anymore. It's like I can't support. It was like literally the dude was named Jimmy John. Like he's the real owner. And I was like, well, I can't fuck with you anymore, man. You're killing elephants, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. Yeah, I can't do it, man. Jersey Mike's is the bomb. There's one right across the street from the office. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, back to Ricky. You know, I think that there's a thing here, and a lot of the times when people make a trans joke or a joke about another culture, I always wonder who really is complaining. You know, I don't know exactly who's complaining about Ricky Gervais's jokes. Is it actually someone from the trans community, or is it an advocate of a certain minority group? Because a lot of the times, you know, when you really go into the when you go online and really do the investigation, you'll find that it's just like some liberal person who's sticking up for another group, but they're not the actual voice of the group themselves. And look, I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal motherfucker, you know, a bleeding heart liberal all the way. And I stick up for what's right. But what I can't really do a lot of the times is stick up for someone who I haven't walked in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? If a comedian's making a joke about a black person, I could say like, oh shit, I wouldn't say that shit, you know, in my real life. But it's not really my place to say like, oh, you know, the black community doesn't like that. Well, I can't speak for the black community, you know? So I really wonder who is complaining about Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais. Is it an actual advocate? You know, is it actual member of the community, or is it just someone who's advocating, just someone who's just really getting high on canceling people, and they see something that could be offensive and they're the first to jump on it. So they could say, hey, I was against that. I had your back. You know, it always makes me wonder, because the jokes that he was saying, I was reading it, I was like, they're pretty funny. You're not going to lie. Like, it's his take on that society. I'm guessing that in real life, if Ricky Gervais met a trans person, he wouldn't be like, oh, no, I'm not going to shake your hand. I don't like trans people. That's not what he's saying. He's just making jokes about the community. And this is the thing. It's a rite of passage. You know, if you're in a minority group, that's your rite of passage. You know, you think about the people that we roast. The Comedy Central roasts, you know, they're not roasting someone who's going to be ostracized from the community. You know, hold on. I got a runny nose. I'm going to do something gross here, but I'm just use my shirt to kind of, I know. To me, I look at it, and these are just my views, and maybe I'll get canceled for them. But to me, it's a rite of passage. You know, Justin Bieber used to be a fucking joke. You know what I'm saying? Justin Bieber used to be a punchline. And then one day, the comedic community said, hey, come over here. We're going to roast you to your face. We're just going to fucking get it all out of our system. And then afterwards, you're going to be cool. You're going to be part of our community. And then you could sit on the panel and roast the next motherfucker who comes up. You know, Pamela Anderson used to be a joke. You know what I'm saying? They just talked about her and Baywatch and those big fake boobs. Then they roasted her one day, and now Pamela Anderson is she's part of the community. We've accepted her. That's your rite of passage, you know? It's kind of like when I always talk about mental health. We talk about mental health to normalize these type of things. So once, you know, and every minority group went through it, you know, comedians made black jokes and talked about black people, talked about Mexican people. Well, now the Mexicans and the blacks are the comedians and they're roasting the other people, you know? It's a rite of passage. You don't want to be the person who doesn't get roasted. You don't want to be the person who you're not allowed to talk about. You don't want to be that person because guess what? They're going to talk about you behind your back. You don't want that. You want it to be out in the open. You want to say like, yes, roast me. I want to hear your thoughts on my community. I want to be able to laugh at that as long as it's not hateful, hurtful, malicious, you know, it's all in good fun. And once you can accept that humor, you could say like, all right, you know, we took it like a champ. Now, as the trans community, linking up with the comedy community and all the other minority communities, now who are we going to get together? You know what I'm saying? Because we're part of the gang now. I passed your initiation. You know what I'm saying? I went through the trial by fire. And now we're all together. We're all on the same page now. Now who are we roasting next? You know? Let's get them. Let's get the millennials now, you know, or whoever's going to be up next on the chopping block. So I kind of feel like, and I'm sticking up for comedians like I'm a comedian, but I love comedy and I eventually want to get more and more into comedy and comedy writing and things like that and do a little stand up and things like that. Let's see. Hold on. I'm missing some of the chat here. I got to feed and bathe elephants when my wife and I had our honeymoon in Thailand. That sounds so dope. I would love to feed and bathe some elephants. That sounds so great. Anybody had free birds? Yes. They have some good queso. I had Freebirds twice. The first time I had the burrito and some queso and chips. And then the next time I went there, I got the burrito, queso and chips. And then I ordered like 3 more sides of queso and poured it all over my burrito and dipped it in the oh my God, it was so freaking good. Nick says, what is your take on Native American mascots for schools or sports teams? I've always heard that some natives don't care or in some cases are proud of them. Some are obviously offensive of those too. So like my personal take and the take that, you know, people in the Native American community, like my family members and other people like that, is there's a time and a place for it. So like the Florida State Seminoles use the tribe with their, they work alongside the tribe. So not only is Florida State Seminoles giving money back to the community, back to the tribe, but they also allow tribe members to lead the team on the field, lead chants, do things like that. Okay. A name like the Redskins, that actually comes from when cowboys, like white cowboys, were hunting Native Americans, literally hunting Native Americans, and they were they were getting paid for the Redskins. You know, everybody thinks that scalping was Native Americans scalping people. No, that's how you got money for your Redskins. And this is all true. You could look it up. You can Google it. There was a phrase that the American government would use that said the only good Indian is a dead Indian. And they would pay you, you know, a couple dollars for every scalp that you would bring in. So you would go to, you know, whatever, the marshal's office or something, and you would have your Native American scalps. And they would scalp them so you see the long black hair. And they would drop them right there and say, like, okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 3 Indians you killed. Boom, 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 boom. They'd pay you for your time. So Redskins originated from the killing of Native Americans. Offensive, okay? The chief Wahoo mascot. And there's a lot of people who stick up for this and say, oh, they're trying to, honor this guy, like Lewis. I forget his name, but the team was actually named after a Native American. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But maybe you should name it after his tribe and involve the tribe and use tribal logos instead of a red-faced Indian with a huge honker, a blue ponytail, a feather sticking out of his head, bright red skin, and people were still defending that. Like, oh, no, but that's honoring a Native. There's nothing honoring about that. You know what I'm saying? You don't use a caricature to honor someone. You don't use a caricature of a group to honor that group. You got to use a different logo. And once people start telling you that, you can't just sweep it under the rug. So a lot of that I'm very offended by. Then there's others that I'm not offended by. I'm not so offended by the Braves, Atlanta Braves. They use a tomahawk. It's called the Braves. I'm not offended by that. I'm offended by people going, oh, oh, oh. That's offensive. You know what I'm saying? Mildly offensive to me because that in itself is a caricature of Native Americans, you know, and like war chants. I told this story before. I was at a bar. It was a new bar opened up in my neighborhood. It was a sports bar. And I went there one morning and I was going to catch some NFL games. As soon as I sat down and I'm having a beer and I'm looking at the menu, I realized that the first game of the morning is the Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The bar is full of Raider fans. This is in Venice Beach. Raiders are still the home team in LA. I'm sitting there and I don't know what's about to happen. I'm looking at the menu and feeling feeling good about the day. And next thing you know, the chants started. As soon as the Chiefs start playing, the Chiefs made a mistake. And all the Raider fans start saying, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Mocking Native American war chant. You know, I grew up going to powwows. You know, like this music and the chants are in a way sacred to me. You know, I know the beauty behind them. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Oh, and it was just all day long. These guys were just doing that. Anytime the Chiefs did something, they would do these chants. And honestly, as a grown-ass man, I had never felt that way before. I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry like a baby. Like I felt tears welling up in my eyes, tears of anger, tears of feeling ostracized by society. Like, wow, all these people here are just basically making fun of my culture and they have no clue. You know, they don't care about everything that's happened, you know, to my tribe or other tribes. They're just using my tribe as a character, and they're mocking they're mocking things that are sacred to us for their own benefit, for their own humor. They're laughing at this. They think it's funny. And so, yeah, that made me feel very bad. But then there's some others that like don't affect me whatsoever. I had a friend say, like, how do you feel about Chicago Blackhawks? You know, to me, the logo doesn't scream caricature. It is a profile of a Native American chief. There's feathers, but it's not overdone. It's not a cartoon. You know, it's not a cartoon. You look at some of these old Bugs Bunny cartoons and you see like something called, there's one called Little Hiawatha. And there's this big fat Native American, with, he's wearing like a loincloth and he walks pigeon-toed and his nose is drooping in front of his face and he constantly has to like blow his nose out of the way. Fucking offensive as fuck. And I love Bugs Bunny. I fucking love Bugs Bunny and I love Looney Tunes, but they were really brutal to minorities back in the day. You go look at Donald Duck. It's called Donald Duck Takes on the Japs or something like that. And it's like the caricatures that they do of Japanese people with these huge teeth and like slanted eyes and they can't talk. And it's just like, whoa, cartoons were fucking racist back in the day, And don't get me started on cartoons and black culture. Like they ripped black people back in the day. I mean, like it was fucking disgusting. So there's a difference between making a joke about a culture, making a joke about a minority group. There's a difference about making a joke and humor and holding a mirror up to that society and saying, hey, this is what I see. There's a difference between that and blatantly offending someone because you want to get a couple laughs out of a larger group. So that's my take on that, Nick Magnuson. In the words of Dave Chappelle, we can always talk it out. No First Amendment freedom of speech. The Second Amendment is just there at the first. The Second Amendment is just there if the first one doesn't work out. Exactly. I'm sorry, but when it's comedy, no one is safe. This generation is too sensitive. It used to be worse in the 80s. Exactly. When it comes to comedy, you gotta let the comedians do their thing. There's a level to it. I will say that. Carlos Mencia is a genius. Loved his jokes about the disabled. Yeah, and he's not allowed to do those anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because people found that offensive. But when you do that, then people are just going to do it in the privacy of their home. You're still going to have people who are making fun of you, but they're just going to do it in private now. I'd rather have it out in public, as long as it's not like, okay, I have this. I'll have an example. What you're saying needs to be out on a PSA, bro. Thank you. My friend came home from serving 20 years and he started a clothing line called Angry Elephant Online. He donates money to saving the elephants. He has now opened his first store in New York. Good for him. Brian Joel says our high school was one of the first to ditch Redskins like 10 years ago. Good job, town. Exactly. Good job. Kareen says, yup, horrible how natives were portrayed. You aren't told the truth in school. Nick Magnuson says, yes, Redskins is exactly what I'm referring to, as no one has the business, no one that has no business on being on a sports franchise. Exactly. Our town has buildings and murals and statues of Native American chief they chased out of the state like it's something to be proud of. I find it offensive. Exactly. And sometimes there's a history that goes to some of these things. Like they'll celebrate someone who they killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're honoring the Blackfoot. But it's like, you killed the Blackfoot. You know what I'm saying? That's not how you do it. People sure do cherish their right to be an ass. The Portland Winterhawks, exactly. Used to have the same logo as Chicago, but they recently changed it to a bird. Okay. See, I remember I saw a couple, I went to a Winterhawks game one time. And I remember looking at the logo thinking, I'm not offended by that. It's not like the logo is like, they didn't make the nose hell of big. They, the skin tone on the chief was brown. It wasn't like a bright red, offensive bright red. The original Ice Cream song is actually a racist song. The original Ice Cream song. I don't know that. I changed the logo of my high school sports team. Would I find that that's offensive? Let me see. Let me check this out right quick. Not at all. Not at all. The name Savages could be a little offensive, but the logo itself is very it's fine. That would pass the test in my book. The name Savages is how the early settlers would refer to Native Americans to dehumanize them. And they would say, oh, they're a bunch of savages. They don't have technology. They don't have guns. You know what I'm saying? They're a bunch of savages. And then that opened the door to people feeling better about killing them. And so that's the only thing that I would take away from that is like when you call a group of people savages, you're denigrating their culture and saying like, oh, they're not at the same technological level as us. They're savages. Hey, it's okay to kill them. It's okay to take their land. Thanks, West. Always wonder what your perspective was on that. If you Google the song, it's horrible how anyone could actually listen to that song. Okay, I'll check that out. Randy says that as a disabled person, I'm offended that people are offended by Carlos's disabled humor. There's a guy called Daniel Sloss who says basically he had a disabled sister, and he tells these jokes, and you should all check him out. His name is Daniel Sloss. His show on Netflix is called Live Shows. And the first one is all about his disabled sister. And the second one is called Jigsaw, which is a fucking masterpiece. His name is Daniel Sloss. I think he's Scottish. And it's still on Netflix. And he says that same thing, Randy. He says, don't be offended for me if I don't find it offensive. You know, he makes a lot of jokes about his disabled sister, and people are, you know, kind of like, you know, taking offense to his shit. And he's saying like, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to take offense to something that I've been through, that I have experienced, and that I can find humor in. You're not allowed to do that. And he breaks down in the first special about how people in society are being offended about these certain things when it's like, you haven't even lived through it. You know what I'm saying? If I can laugh about it, you should be able to laugh about it. So here, I'll bring something up here. This is an example where, and I'm sticking up for stand-up comedians here, but this is an example of offensive humor because it's not humorous. So you guys might remember a comedian named Ralphie May. He was like this morbidly obese white comedian, and I say white because it matters in this moment, because as a white man talking about a group of Native Americans, you have to hold the mirror to society and say the things that you say, but you can't offend. You can't just go and offend. You have to have some substance behind it. So this is the words of Ralphie May. Ralphie May shouts indignantly. This is an actual quote from a Ralphie May stand-up performance. Fuck a bunch of Indians. I am sick of hearing about it. Are we supposed to boo-hoo over goddamn Indians? That shit was 120 years ago. Get over it. Nobody fucking 150 years ago is making you drink now. Fucking dry up, you bunch of fucking alcoholics, and go get a real fucking job. Cut that fucking hair. Bon Jovi cut his, you should cut yours. The shit is done, son. It's done. Fuck you, bunch of Indians. Fuck the Indians. I'm sorry. I'm sorry they as a group never made it to the Bronze Age. I'm sorry they never invented the wheel. I'm sorry. Boo hoo 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 hoo. Boo fucking who. Fuck the Indians. Now see, that's not humor. He's literally saying, fuck another group of people. Fuck the Indians. Fuck the Indians. Fuck a bunch of Indians. He got a lot of flack for that, especially from the Native American community. Unfortunately, the Native American community consists of like 32 or 33 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have a large enough voice to really cancel someone or make a real impact these days. You know, it's only when Leonardo DiCaprio or Matt Damon speaks on our behalf that the world has eyes on some kind of struggle. You know, the Dakota Pipeline thing is just one incident out of many, many incidents like that, except that one got coverage and the other ones don't. So, I mean, so I found that offensive as a Native American. Like, I didn't find the humor in it. I was looking for the joke. Fuck a bunch of Indians. No one's making you drink anymore. Cut your fucking hair. Fuck a bunch of Indians. Fuck the Indians. Like, he's literally saying, like, fuck another group. It's like if somebody went on there and said, fuck the black people. Fuck a bunch of black people. Like, you're not allowed to say that. There's nothing funny about that. You're not holding a mirror to society. You're just letting your demons out on a mic. you know? So that's why today I'm sticking up for Ricky Gervais, because he's not saying fuck the trans community, you know, fuck a bunch of trans people. He's not saying that. He's saying his thoughts on what he sees. You know, he's putting it out there, and they're going through the roasting period right now. The trans community is going through the gay people. Gay people went through it for years and years and years and years, getting roasted. Now, gay people are stand-up comedians roasting other people. You have to pass that trial by fire. And once you pass by that trial by fire, and you're a good sport about it, and you could laugh along, then you're no longer being laughed at. You're laughing with the community. And once you get to that other side, then you are part of the gang. And nothing's better than being part of the gang. You know what I'm saying? So I guess my message would be to the trans community is, first of all, make sure it's the actual trans community that's taking offense to these jokes. Don't let some liberal college student who has not lived your experience be offended for you. Just like the handicapped community, just like the gay community, just like any minority group out there. Don't let somebody take offense on your behalf, because that's offensive. Why are you going to take offense on my behalf? I can't fight for myself. I can't stand up for myself. I can't fight my own battles. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that for me. When I'm offended, I will let you know I'm offended. I'm offended by what Ralphie May said. And I'm glad that fat piece of shit is dead. He's dead. He's dead, son. So, fuck a bunch of Ralphie Mays. Do you want to be equal or special? We could do one or the other, but not both. Homer Simpson backing into the bushes gif. I don't see anything humorous in that either. Exactly. You know, there wasn't humor in it. It was a guy who had very, very negative and evil thoughts towards Native Americans and decided to spew his hatred on stage. Now, there's a lot of comedians out there who have made fun of Native Americans, poked fun at us. Dave Chappelle on one of his first specials, Killing Me Softly, in the mid-2000s, did a whole bit about how he would do shows at Native American reservations and how he hung out with the tribe after, and the chiefs were selling him weed. I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved it. A lot of my friends in the room were kind of looking at me while we were watching it like, uh-oh, like, when's Johnny going to freak out about this? And I was like loving it and laughing along, because it's like, we're normal people in his eyes. He wasn't making me a group. He was saying that he was hanging out with us and that we're actually out there, you know, and that we're part of the gang, that we're part of the club, that we're allowed to, just the fact that he was making jokes like, dude, Dave Chappelle took his time out to make some Native American jokes. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We're not forgotten if one of the biggest comedians out there has the time and took the time out of his day to put some Native American jokes into his special. Yes. I loved it. I didn't just like laugh at it. I didn't just like accept it. I loved it. I wanted more. I wanted more Native American jokes, you know, because it means that we're passing through that trial of fire. It means that we're getting roasted and we're going to come out the other side and be accepted in the community. And it's normalized now. Now people are normalizing the fact that, you know, Native Americans, yeah, we're here. We're a little bit different too. And we could take a joke, you know. One of my favorite records I have is Johnny Cash's Bitter Tears, Ballads of the American Indian. He spent a lot of time advocating for that community, very much so. I love Johnny Cash for that. He was a very big advocate for the Native American community. Love that man. Also, happy birthday, Bob Dylan. Today is Bob Dylan's birthday. Bob Dylan, 81 years old. 81 years old. Happy birthday, Bob Dylan. BD. Kareen posted the link in the Discord. All right, I'll have to listen to that in a moment. Wes should get a teaching job in Florida. Well, the Floridians, man, they got it. If anybody's stuck in the Bronze Age, it's some of the Floridians, man. Some of the shit that I hear that's going on out there, man, they're like way stuck in the past sometimes. But yeah, that was my whole thing when I woke up this morning. A lot of the times when I wake up and I'm going to do a show, if I haven't pre-written jokes, I scroll through Twitter and see what's happening in the news, see what's trending, and sports. and I'll just make notes of certain things that I want to talk about for the day. And when I saw the Ricky Gervais thing, I immediately said, first of all, I want to watch that special. And I suggest that we all go watch it before it gets taken down, because there's a huge chance that it's going to get taken off Netflix if enough people complain. But I also said, well, I'm going to take this time to kind of defend Ricky Gervais. Even though I haven't heard the jokes yet, from what I could read, they were literally just jokes. He wasn't attacking the community. He wasn't saying that they were bad for having their experience. You know, he was just making light out of some of these things that we observe. And that's what we love about comedy. You know, so many times I've seen a comedian, and especially as a writer myself, I've seen a comedian perform and I say, fuck, that's fucking genius. I wish I thought of that. I wish I wrote that joke. I could have written that joke because I'm seeing the same exact thing that he's seeing. It's just that guy had the voice and the talent to vocalize that shit. And so shout out to Ricky Gervais. His new special, Supernature, just got out on Netflix. Probably going to get taken down soon, so watch it while you can. And, you know, I support minority groups. I support trans and LGBT community. But I also support the stand-up comedian community and comedy in general. And that's one of the last bastions of hope that we have in this country. You know, there's this one, we love our free speech. We love it so much. We have to protect it. And in doing so, we have to protect comedians. We have to protect these comedians, you know. We have to protect everybody. But comedians, you know, once that starts to go away, then we're living in that society where we're not allowed to say anything. You know, once comedy gets taken away, we're going to lose that free speech. We're going to lose that First Amendment right to free speech. So shout out to Ricky. I'm going to watch that shit later on. Happy birthday, Bob Dylan. How does it feel? Kareen says, today is my son's birthday. Hey, well, your son is in good company. Bob Dylan. Mitchell Wayne says it's Munster's birthday too. Hey, happy birthday, Munster Vision. Right on, man. I'll send him a message. Let him know I'm thinking of him today. Happy birthday to the birthday people. Also, Kareen, thanks for bringing that up. Kareen posted the link for the GoFundMe. Old Raven Farm got hit with a tornado this last week, destroyed one of his greenhouses. He's going to try to take the pieces and build some smaller greenhouses. But look, if there's any way we can help out, I'm under the mindset that every little bit helps, you know. Every little bit helps, you know. Even if you got a couple bucks to throw at the situation, every little bit helps when you're going through something, you know. Anthony Jeselnik, another really terribly offensive comedian who says some terrible, terrible things, but you have to see through that shit, has a joke about thoughts and prayers. Says whenever something happens in society, people just offer their thoughts and prayers. They don't offer their time, you know. They don't offer to work. They don't offer their money. They offer thoughts and prayers. And when you offer thoughts and prayers, you're basically saying, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me today. I know you guys are going through bad stuff, but don't forget about me. I'm sads too. So, you know, I like to offer something or anything that I can other than just thoughts and prayers. You know, is there any way that I can help? And even if it's just a couple bucks that I could throw at this, I'm going to try to do that. I'm pretty broke right now, but I'm going to try to help you out, Old Raven Farm, because every little bit helps. You never know. Even if you're sending him, you know, a couple bucks to buy a meal, you know, that's one less thing that he has to worry about. So Old Raven Farm, the farm got hit by a tornado, got fucked up. Like if you see the pictures in the Discord, the shit ripped through, took down trees, destroyed the greenhouse, just fucked everything up. And it's a farm. He's a real farm. He's trying to grow some shit, and it destroyed a lot of it. And there's still time for him to get some crops in this year. So, you know, he's got to kind of work fast and rebuild and get started while the season is still going. So thank you, Kareen. Kareen set up a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe page is going to be in the Discord, and the next time I do a show, I'll actually get a link to it. Let's see if I can do that right now, actually. Hold on one second. Let me try to get that link here in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat right here. Boom. So there's the GoFundMe link to help out Old Raven Farm. Like I said, man, we want to help you out. You're such a valuable part and an awesome part of this community. Old Raven Farm is always the first person in the morning telling us good morning in the Discord. Very positive, loving person, and he's a farmer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't get more real than that shit. So if you can help out Old Raven Farm this week, the link is right there in the chat. That's that GoFundMe. Happy birthday to Bob Dylan, Kareen's son, and Munster Vision. Happy 81st birthday to Bob Dylan. You. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Nick Magnuson, you get one of these. You get one of these, baby. Yeah, that's right. That is amazing. Happy 81st birthday to Bob Dylan. You don't look a day over 94. You get one of these, buddy. That's a great one. Wow, that's a good one, Nick. that was a joke, Mom. I like cracked up while I was reading it. Kareen says her son's first name is Dylan. All right, perfect. Bob Dylan. Happy birthday to all the Dylans. After work, I will donate. Been busy this week. Damn, I didn't know that Old Raven Farm. So sorry. GoFundMe link right there if you want to help him out. Every little bit helps. No problem. I'm returning the favor. He helped me when I lost my shit. Kareen went through the same thing, last year. Natural disaster. Floods in New York fucked her whole shit up. And if you saw the pictures, there was like 2 feet of water in her apartment, or in her house. Like, the fucking shit was flooded. When you say flooded, like, it wasn't like a little bit of water. It wasn't like a leak. The shit got destroyed. Everything got destroyed. And at the last channel had set up a GoFundMe, and we'll try to help out whatever we can. Like I said, every little bit helps, and all I got right now is a little bit to help out with. So in the background, we're working on the Save the Old Raven Farm shirt. I like that. Even if we can get them supplies too. Exactly. Hell, if you're in the neighborhood, go down there and grab a hammer and nails, man. If I was there, I would definitely volunteer my services and just manpower. More than thumbs up. I achieved peak Westside laughter and honor. You got one of those. That was a good joke, dude. That was a solid joke. We got Game 4 coming on tonight. Golden State Warriors Game 4. I think they're going to sweep this series. Sorry, Mavericks. It's the only Maverick that's going to have a good week is Top Gun Maverick. Back to the drawing board, Mark Cuban. I think the Dubs are going to take this one 4 games, clean sweep. That Boston Celtics series is still going on, and they're beating the shit out of each other over there. So I'm praying for a 7-game series over there. Let the Celtics and the Heat beat the shit out of each other, and that whoever wins that is just going to be ragged. They're going to face the Golden State Warriors. I predict a Golden State Warriors championship. We need to save the trees, baby. Let's get a supply list going for Raven. Oh, that's a good idea. I know Old Raven. He don't really want to solicit the fact that he needs any help or anything like that. But Old Raven, if you can, maybe put together an Amazon wish list of some things that you might need, and we could buy shit on the wish list and have it sent to you. If you need hammer, nails, some plywood, I don't know, whatever's on Amazon that we could get you. That might be another route to go to. Yeah, Kareen, Amazon wish list. Jen Matt with the brooms. Sweep. We got to sweep these Mavericks under the rug. You done, son. Get done. Out of juice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My whole thing today was just to come on, talk a little bit about what's happening in the news. In investment news, Westvestments. I saw that AMC hit $10 again today. Bad day for the stock market, by the way. Okay, gross. Let's see. AMC today hit $10.37. $10.37. Remember a year ago we were fighting the battle of 801. $10.37 today. At the low, it's sitting at $10.36, $10.37 right now. Hitting another hit. Shit, $10.35 just right now. New low of the day for AMC today, $10.35, and it is sinking like the Titanic. Another one that I saw. You guys peep Snapchat today? Oh, good Lord. Snapchat losing 43% of its value today. Snapchat was a $25 stock yesterday, hitting a low of $12.67 today. Snapchat falling on hard times. I don't know. I don't know if this is the time to jump into Snapchat at $12, or is it just a time to cut your losses and run? But yeah, Snapchat taking a huge loss today. Another loser today. Genosia Biosciences lost 72% of its value, down 72% today at 6 cents. GNCA, biggest loser in the stock market today, down 72%. But Snapchat really is one that you wouldn't expect to see on that biggest loser list, you know. Snapchat down 43% right now. It's also the most active stock in the stock market today. What else we got? GeoVax, GOVX at $2.52. That's up 8.6%. AMD, chip maker AMD at $90.77. I know that a lot of people were making pretty good money on calls, down 4.5%. AMD, pretty good company. Definitely going to bounce back, in my opinion. Apple down 2.5%, sitting at $139. Apple, man. I'm telling you, if I had the money to invest in some of these stocks right now, I would be killing it. I'd be scooping up some AMD, scooping up some Apple. I'd probably throw down on some Snapchat. BTTX, one of my little favorite rinse and repeat plays right here. BTTX up 37%. If you guys have been following the BTTX saga, this one has been a real rinse and repeater. Once it hits those lows, it bounces right back up. BTTX going from 131 today, hitting a high of 224. It's now at 192, up 49%, and it is going. Big green candle on BTTX right now, flying high. It was 172 just about 6 minutes ago, and now it's at 192. So keep your eyes on that one. Put that on your watch list for a quick little money maker. I've noticed that it hits 125 and bounces up off 125, BTTX. Oh, yeah, Roblox got hit. How bad did that get hit? I saw that in the news as well. I saw that on Twitter. Let's look up Roblox. If you guys remember, Roblox was like flying high into the hundreds. Not too long ago. Let's see here. Roblox hit a high of 141.60 about a half a year ago. 6 months ago, Roblox was $141 stock. Today, 26.39 today, hitting the lows. So I don't know, man. I don't know where to go with Roblox. To me, it's always been one of those stocks that I want to invest in because I know it's such a popular game for kids these days. Let's see. Oh, they got downgraded. Okay, Atlantic Equities, who I've never heard of, downgraded them, and that kind of sucks about the stock market. Is you could have this investment firm that downgrades you, and all of a sudden your stock loses all of its value. We don't even know who these motherfuckers are. I've never heard of Atlantic Equities, but I guess their price target got cut to $30 a share. So now Roblox is sitting at $26.45. Might be the time to invest in some Roblox. But that stock has been having a tough time in the past few months, just on a steady decline. But like I said, this was a $141 stock at one point in time. Just 6 months ago, $141 stock, today hitting $21.65. So rough time for rough sledding for Roblox out there. But you know what I'm saying? This could be the opportunity of a lifetime as well. Jen Matt saying, power, get to the chopper, no. So yeah, that's about 2 hours for me. Kareen says, making a good point about Old Raven Farm. No one wants to ask for help. She says, of course no one does. I'm a proud woman, but we all need help every now and then. Exactly. It takes a village. Kareen hasn't even looked at your portfolio. Don't look at your portfolio. It ain't good. Like I said, AMC getting hammered today. New low 10.30 just a moment ago, $10.30. It is sinking quick. Like I said, though, if I could afford it right now, I would be scooping up some AMC. Especially this week, Top Gun Maverick's going to come out. Supposedly like one of the best movies in the theater ever been released. So we're going to see some. I think we're going to see some flight on AMC pretty soon. But yeah, pretty much everything in my watch list is down. Highcroft Mining down 7.2% at 121 today. That SOS down 8%, down to 33 cents. Redbox got hit. Redbox down 14%, sitting at 494. Redbox, man, majorly shorted company. I see that one as another one that's going to bounce back sooner or later. But BTTX, man, big winner today. One of my little hidden gems, NWBO, coming back to life here, 71 cents, up 4.5%. Yeah. Hey, that's what's going on there in the world of the stock market. Crypto, not so well. A lot of crypto down. Bitcoin still at 29. Coming up from 28 yesterday, though. Better than nothing. EV plays. GGPI still at 10.18. Trying to get GGPI under $10. Mullen Automotive, $1.01 Mullen. Down almost 4%. Or 4.2%, sorry. What else we got here? Charging companies still down 14.18 for Blink, down 6.5%. Tesla 624. Holy shit. Tesla in the buy zone for me. Tesla sitting at 625, down 7.3%. Lucid Auto right at about $17, down 7.8%. ChargePoint, $10.35 for ChargePoint. $10.35 for ChargePoint, down 8.5%. NEO 1457 down almost 9% on the day. Plug Power $15 down 9.4%. Yeah, I know they're saying it's a bear market, recession, all those words that freak investors out right now. But if you're a savvy investor, like I know all of us are, this is the time, man. This is the time. I'm just waiting. I hate to say that I want the stock market to keep going down. I hate to say, because we all want to see it. We all want to see green days. We all want to see it come back to life. But I'm not going to be on top of my bills until next month. Until next month is when I'm going to have that extra money to invest. I hope that I still have these buying opportunities in about 3 to 4 weeks. Because if I do, I'm going ham on this shit, man. I am buying all that shit up. I'm going eating all that shit up, man. I just cannot wait. I just cannot wait until I'm back on my feet and I can start investing again because, man, this is the market right now. This is the buyer's market right now. This is the buyer's market, 6 months ago, we saw the seller's market. This is the time to buy. And, man, I can't wait to jump on this shit. Oh, also, GameStop dropped their own crypto NFT wallet. I don't know if anybody heard about that. It wasn't really talked about that much. But, yeah, GameStop dropping their wallet, NFT and crypto wallet, and they're going to start releasing some NFTs coming into the second quarter here. So I think that we're going to see another pop on GameStop pretty soon as well with the release of that wallet. So, yeah, that's another one to put on your radar. GameStop ain't dead. AMC ain't dead. The market ain't dead. You know what I'm saying? This is just that dip. When you look across that timeline, when you zoom out and you're looking at the charts and you see those dips and you're like, fuck, I wish I could have gotten in there. This is there. So good luck to all you guys out there. Keep your head up. And I'm going to cut out for the day and get ready to go hoiking. So let's get a little steel fawn going here. Yeah. Yeah, that's the jam, son. That's the jam. We know this guy. We know this guy. This guy's our friend. He made this song. We know him. That's so awesome. Thank you for everybody stopping by today. Shout out to Red Ray. Shout out to Mitchell Wayne. Thanks guys for all your help. Shout out to Old Raven Farm. Link to the GoFundMe is in the chat. Also in the Discord. Nick Madison got a thumbs up. Shout out to everybody out here. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you can today, man, go outside. Go outside. Go outside. Get that good sunshine on your skin. Get that good air in your lungs. Touch some water if you can. I'm going to go down to the stream. I'm going to touch some water today. Call someone you haven't called in a while, man. Trust me, it feels so good. And you're going to make that other person feel special. You're going to make that other person feel good. Reach out to someone. Call someone today. You know what I'm saying? Put that on your list of things to do. And I love you guys, man. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You know, you can be anywhere in the world. You can be anywhere in the World Wide Web, and you chose to hang out with me today, and I love you for that. So thank you. Shit, I want to take this house money. Got buy a shitload of stocks, and buy my damn phone. Dr. GTI says, have a great day. See you in the Discord. Later, everyone. Thanks, Westside. Thank you, Nick Magnuson. Don't forget to check out Nick Magnuson's channel. He's got a new video. The editing is off the hook, full of information. And I gotta admit, man, Nick, you got it. I don't know what it is, but you got it, my friend. Kareen says, love you all. Love you too, Kareen. Thank you so much for joining us today. Cassie's on her way. Everyone have a great day. Love you guys. My 1% of On My Way got me 1 penny so far. Yo, making them bucks. I love it. We own that shit. We own part of that song, man. All right, guys. Vibe out. I'll bump it up. Let's pump it. Pump that song. Pimp it. Have fun today, guys. Have fun today. You know what I'm saying? I hope I made you guys smile. I hope I make you guys laugh a little bit. Check out that Ricky Gervais before he gets taken down. Have fun. Smile. Laugh. You know what I'm saying? Love each other. Love someone. And have fun, man. You know? Have a great day, man. Have a great day. That's my dance. And this one. All right, man. That's been fun. And hopefully after work tomorrow, I'll be able to do a little stream action. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully. Not promising it, but hopefully I could just do another little show. Oh, shucks. Thank you, Nick. All right, guys. Have a great day. And I will hopefully talk to you tomorrow or sometime this week.